The takedown, sentencing, and the fallout. Recap intro. As we've seen throughout this series, the Gun Trace Task Force began as an elite Baltimore police unit, but evolved into one of the most corrupt law enforcement squads in modern American history. From illegal traffic stops.
Sir, I'm Sergeant Wayne Jenkins with the Gun Trace Task Force. The reason you gentlemen being stopped today is you don't have a seatbelt on. How come you don't have a seatbelt on, sir?
Robberies, drug dealing, planted evidence, and civil rights violations, to full-scale criminal operations masquerading as policing. Now, in Episode 4, we look at how it all came crashing down. The takedown, the trials, the sentences, and what every officer said when the system finally held them accountable. Wayne Jenkins, the ringleader. Wayne Jenkins, once praised as a super cop, faced the court in 2018.
Please state your name and your assignment for the record.
Detective Sergeant Wayne Jenkins.
Sergeant, how long have you been with the Baltimore Police Department?
Worked as sergeant, I believe, in 2010, and then I was placed in Gun Trace Task Force for Baltimore City.
After pleading guilty to racketeering, robbery, falsifying records, and drug dealing, he received 25 years in federal prison. Today, he is held at FCI Milan in Michigan. In court, Jenkins blamed the culture of the gun unit and said he was taught corruption from the day he joined. But the judge rejected that excuse, calling his crimes a stunning betrayal of the public trust. Mamadou G. Money Gondo, the double-life officer. Gondo pled guilty to racketeering and to helping run a heroin trafficking operation on the side. He was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison, serving at FCI Butner Low in North Carolina. In court, he admitted, "I lost my way. I take responsibility." Prosecutors called him a police officer moonlighting as a criminal. Daniel Hersel, the enforcer. Hersel refused to plead guilty and was convicted at trial. He received 18 years. He is currently held in a federal prison in Missouri. In court, he insisted he was only doing aggressive police work, but recordings, victims, and other officers painted a very different story. Marcus Taylor, the only black officer convicted at trial. Taylor also went to trial, denying all wrongdoing. He was sentenced to 18 years and is serving in a federal prison in Arkansas. At sentencing, he said, "I was following orders. I never meant to harm anyone." The judge responded that following unlawful orders is still a crime. Thomas Allers, the senior sergeant. Allers, who ran the unit before Jenkins, pled guilty to robbery and racketeering. He received 15 years in federal prison. Prosecutors said Allers laid the foundation for years of corruption. Maurice Ward and Evodio Hendricks, the cooperators. Ward and Hendricks were the first to confess. Both pled guilty and testified against others. They each received 7-year sentences, but due to cooperation, they were released early around 2022. They told the court, "This is how policing was taught to us." The judge condemned the entire unit as a criminal brotherhood hiding behind badges. The impact was immediate and devastating. Nearly 800 criminal cases dropped. Prosecutions involving GTTF officers had to be dismissed because their testimony was no longer trustworthy. More than $22 million in city payouts. Baltimore paid massive settlements to victims of illegal arrests, robberies, planted evidence, and false imprisonment. Federal oversight imposed. Baltimore entered a sweeping Department of Justice consent decree requiring new police training, body cameras, and transparency reforms. Community trust destroyed. For many Baltimore residents, the GTTF scandal confirmed their worst fears, that those sworn to protect them had become predators. A national symbol of police corruption. The scandal inspired documentaries, books, investigations, and HBO's "We Own This City," cementing its place in history. The Gun Trace Task Force didn't collapse because of one bad officer. It collapsed because corruption was allowed to grow unchecked for years. Supervisors ignored complaints. The department rewarded high arrest numbers over integrity, and the community was left paying the price. Today, the officers are scattered across federal prisons, some serving decades, others already released, but the consequences of their actions still shape Baltimore. This is the legacy of the GTTF, a reminder that when power goes unchecked, justice becomes a victim, and entire cities suffer the consequences. As we close this final episode of the Wayne Jenkins and the Baltimore Gun Trace Task Force series, we want to say a sincere thank you to everyone who has followed this story from beginning to end. Your support, your comments, and your engagement are the reason we can continue bringing powerful, eye-opening true crime investigations like this to the community. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, and we invite you to become part of this growing family. Hit the subscribe button, tap like, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive story like this one. And to our returning viewers, thank you for staying with us through every twist, every revelation, and every moment of this series. Your support helps us shine light on real events, real people, and the real consequences of corruption and injustice. This has been the full story from rise to corruption to downfall of one of the most shocking police scandals in modern American history. Stay tuned, more powerful investigations are on the way. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story.